Theranos may be the most infamous example of hype-exceeding substance in biotech. The company's proprietary blood tests were not only inaccurate, they were fake. Now a new report from the Center for Health Data Insights and Technology at the University of California, San Francisco highlights how the problems with Theranos might just be the least painful example of hype-exceeding substance in biotech. The real problem child might just be a... Now let me clarify, AI holds incredible promise for healthcare, from discovering new drugs to tailoring treatments to individual patients, but the UCSF report sounds a note of caution, arguing that the current AI hype train is dangerously outpacing our ability to rigorously evaluate its performance. Now there are three problems with AI that they raise in this report that I want to talk about today. One is bias, another is privacy, and the third is what they call the black box problem. So starting with bias, AI models amplify existing biases. If they are trained on unrepresentative data, for example, diagnostic algorithms could perform poorly on patients from underrepresented groups, because the algorithms were trained on skewed data. Like 80% of genomic data comes from Caucasians. A recent study found that race-based adjustments in algorithms designed to estimate kidney function delayed kidney transplants for Black patients by up to 18 months because the algorithm was trained on a predominantly white population. What's worse, using healthcare cost data as a proxy for medical need also underestimates the care required for Black patients because of historical inequity. In healthcare, this means that AI could deepen health disparities instead of alleviating them. That brings us to the second problem, privacy. AI's voracious appetite for data, medical records, genetic info, wearable data creates privacy, and breaches are costly. They can reach millions per incident. In 2023, 23andMe suffered a breach that exposed the data of 6.9 million users. But even when there are no breaches, there are ethical dilemmas. Who owns the data? Who has access to it? Can insurers or employers use it against you? As the UCSF report notes, when the crisis text line, which provides mental health support, shared anonymized data with a for-profit AI firm, the arrangement ultimately led to people receiving treatment recommendations from an AI system that had been trained on their personal messages seeking help. Strong encryption, access controls, and transparency are crucial to protect sensitive data. Without them, the flood of medical AI innovations could drown in a sea of ethical quandaries. But there's another problem. The third problem is what the report calls the black box dilemma. Many AI models, particularly deep learning ones, are opaque. Even the developers cannot fully explain why an algorithm made a particular decision. This opacity raises several concerns. How can doctors trust AI recommendations if they can't scrutinize them? Who's liable when an AI error harms a patient? Is it the developer, the clinician, or the hospital? And can regulators ensure safety without transparency? These questions aren't just technical issues. They strike at the heart of trust, the bedrock of the doctor-patient relationship, and of public confidence in medical AI. The UCSF report concludes that the current AI hype in biotech is reminiscent of the dot-com era, where the promise of the technology overshadowed critical questions about its efficacy and safety. But unlike the dot-com era, where companies primarily competed on software, the stakes in biotech are far higher. In healthcare, lives are on the line. So how do we avoid another Theranos, one driven not by fake blood tests, but by bad data? The answer, according to the report's authors, lies in addressing the three problems that I talked about today: bias, privacy, and lack of transparency. We need robust data governance, active bias mitigation, transparency in AI, decision-making, ethical frameworks for consent and patient welfare, and regulations that keep pace with AI advancements. Medical AI has the potential to revolutionize healthcare, but only if that potential is realized responsibly. That means tempering the hype with rigorous standards, ensuring that innovation doesn't come at the expense of accuracy, privacy, or trust. As we navigate this uncharted territory, one thing is clear: the path forward requires a collective commitment to responsible AI. It's a tall order, but the alternative, as we've seen before, is simply not an option. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please subscribe and check out our website for more great content. Thanks for watching.